Welcome to Garden State Screenings.
What do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac.
Chasing Amy.
What? What did you say?
Chasing Amy.
Let me tell you this. The older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
You know what the real tragedy about all this is? I'm not even supposed to be here today!
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you, pal!
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
Oh, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad?
Welcome everyone back to Garden State Screenings podcast with your host, me, Christian Jose, ready to give you another movie review. Well, this is going to be a very exciting episode because this is the first movie request we got for the show, made by my very good friend Liam O'Rourke. This one's for you, man, and I hope I can make this great for you. But yeah, we're gonna start this episode off. We're gonna be talking about The Station Agent. This is the movie that he requested. It's one of his favorite movies, and yeah, I never saw it until he showed me this movie, and I really loved it, and it's really good. But first, let me just set the tone for the movie. So okay, so just picture. Um throughout your life, I'm sure you've had those amazing, hangouts with your friends. You get food, this, you do go parties, go do everything, and then, but beneath all that, you have those nice moments where you can just watch a movie, and it just sets the tone. So picture this: you're in the living room, you just had a great day, and you're gonna watch a movie, and you turn this movie on, and you turn on like an action movie or like a comedy or stuff like that, but he chose this movie, and at first, I'm like, okay, I don't know what this movie's about, but I'm excited. I know Peter Dinklage. I know him, so I was excited. And you watch this, and it's just so calming. It just sets a nice tone. It's very relaxed, and it just takes its time to get where it is, and that's really amazing. And I really love that tone and that feeling. And it's such a nostalgic feeling now because this movie's just so calming. And but yeah, just there's been movies throughout your life where I'm sure you've seen movies that just with your friends, and you can just like have a nice time, hang out, and then just drift off into sleep, I guess. Yeah, because by the end of this, I was like sleeping, but not because of the movie, because it was like late. But yeah, let's start the movie review. But first, let's check out the trailer.
You ever been out to this part of New Jersey?
No.
I mean, there's nothing out there. Nothing.
Finn is about to start a new life.
Where do you live?
In the depot.
What grade are you in?
I'm finished with school.
Olivia is leaving her old life behind.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. Can I give you a ride somewhere?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
How you doing?
And Joe
Do you sell coffee?
Where you from?
Hoboken.
I live in Manhattan, dude.
just doesn't have a life.
I've been here for 6 weeks. It's driving me crazy.
But together,
Hey, how you doing out there?
We don't have to talk. We can just eat.
Okay.
they're trying to get their lives back on track.
This was fun, right?
Yeah.
You have a nice chin.
Very lucky, bro. She's a pretty woman. You're the man.
What do you mean?
You're the man.
Okay.
3-time winner at the Sundance Film Festival.
Yoo-hoo.
What made you pick Newfoundland?
I wanted to live near Joe.
Guys, can you come up here and talk? Seriously, this sucks.
The Station Agent.
Released in 2003 by Miramax Pictures, directed by Tom McCarthy, who also wrote the movie, and this is actually his directorial debut. And what a movie to start our career with! I mean, come on, shot on 16 millimeter in just 20 days with a small budget of just $500,000. The movie follows Finn, played by Peter Dinklage, an unmarried, almost friendless guy who worked at a train model shop in Hoboken, New Jersey, owned by his only friend Henry, who suddenly dies, which leads to the closing of the shop. But Henry leaves Finn a little bit of property that has a small little train station that has been abandoned for years. Finn moves to this place in a new town called Newfoundland. Finn at first keeps to himself as an extreme introvert who doesn't want to talk to anyone, nor meet anyone, nor draw attention, which is hard since he's a dwarf. By default, he will always draw attention, good or bad. He wakes up and walks outside to see a little food truck that has a Cuban man named Joe working, filling in for his father, who has an illness. He quickly tries to involve himself with Finn and to be his new best friend, but Finn quickly shuts him off, focusing on his trains that are being housed by the station. Finn really just keeps to himself, trying to go to the store where he's ignored due to his height and not seen at the library where he scares the librarian. The only person who talks to him for now is a little girl who also likes trains and wants Finn to go to her class to talk about them one day. He's walking alone along the road and is almost hit by a swerving car being drove by a woman named Olivia, an artist in the town, who again almost hits Finn not once but twice. She's drawn by him and he also is drawn by her even if he's not sure to trust her yet. Olivia knows Joe and asks about Finn, which Joe knows nothing about him yet. So Joe starts tagging along with Finn on walks to see trains, even if he's not interested in them and is actually pretty bored by them. Still, he tries his best to be interested in the thing, to be friends with Finn, which works, seeming the three have started to form a bond together, and even Olivia gives Finn a camera to film the trains that they go see. Slowly, the three start to form a friendship, finding comfort in each other. They even watch the footage at Olivia's house and spend the night only to be waken up by Olivia's husband, David. They start to argue, and so Joe and Finn leave and don't hear from Olivia for a while, leading to Finn and Joe to hang out alone. But when Joe can't make it to the bar one day, Finn talks to Emily, the librarian, who has who trusts in talking to Finn about her pregnancy with her not so good boyfriend who ends up showing up, who already previous times was picking on Finn and ends up beating him up. This makes Finn go back to his old ways and shuts Joe out, who tries to apologize for not showing up. And as he leaves, Emily comes back to apologize as the two share a kiss. Finn tries to talk to Olivia and she tells him to leave her alone. Later that night, Finn drinks heavily and passes out on the train track, almost getting run over. The next day, he walks back to Olivia's and sees she tried to commit suicide. She found out Dave's having another baby with another woman, and she makes up with Finn, and Finn finds the courage to talk in front of the girls' class, where they don't find interest in trains and only about his height. The movie ends with the three friends on Olivia's porch, talking all nice and calm together, having each other. All right, I know that was a lot, but yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this movie too many times, so I'm not the expert on talking about it yet. But that's why we're here to talk about it because this movie is really great. I mean, it's very low budget. It's very like the way I can describe it is that it seems almost like documentary style. You're just following these characters, and yeah, usually in hangout movies, there's not real plot, but this one seems to have so much plot going on and so much like coincidences going on that from start to finish, it just is a very calm ride, but a very wild ride, especially in the middle. Like when you open up, it seems to just show Finn, just working his job, seeming to just go to the bar with his friend, and with his friend Henry, who actually the actor I can't remember the name. This actually goes good because last week we did Do the Right Thing, and the actor who plays ML and Do the Right Thing, one of like the corner men, is actually in the movie as Henry. But we don't spend too much time with Henry because he ends up dying and passing, like he passes out and dies. But obviously, this leads to Finn traveling to Foundland, which get it, Foundland. I'll explain that later. But this ends up with him having the train station where he just I guess is gonna spend the rest of his life at, which is perfect for him in his mind because no one's here. It's abandoned. He walks there. He seems to have nothing really going on. He just seems to be walking along the tracks, which is a um very um this well, to explain it, Finn always walks the right of way. I think that's what you say. It's a train term, I'm pretty sure. And that's one of the messages of the movie is that is Finn walking the way life as you should be? Is it supposed like this I'm really bad at explaining, but the way he walks forward, is that the right way for Finn to be walking in? Is it true that there's only one right way to walk in life and that you can't break it? And because Finn always walks straight down that line, you always see him walking straight along that way and never going off balance because he never wants to. He never wants that change. He always seems to want everything in control of his own life. And but even if he doesn't like his life that much, he is okay with it. And that's really what the movie is about. It's about those changes that you can't control that just happen to hit you out of nowhere, and you either go with it or you don't. And this movie tells you to go with it sometimes, really, because you'd never know. So like Olivia, she's obviously not like her character isn't on this one path. It's all swerving around and everything. Because literally, she comes in. You meet her when she's swerving into the road and almost hits Finn, knocking him off his straight path on his life. And this obviously startles him. I mean, who wouldn't be startled by that? And you just see Finn have a nice connection with her. At first, obviously, he's not really wanting to be involved with her or the Cuban guy named Joe, who I forget the actor's name. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's always in movies throughout the years. He's in Ant-Man. Ant-Man, that's where I saw him in. And he's a great actor. And he's really funny in this one, playing like a bumbling idiot in a way, but he's nice. But Finn is a dwarf. He played by Peter Dinklage. I think one of his first roles is before he was Peter Dinklage, and it's very interesting to see this movie from his perspective. Who obviously, he's a dwarf, and people always pick on him, or people always seem to have the not so best intentions of getting to know him at first. Like the kids make fun of him, the people make fun of him. They don't acknowledge him. He's very just like there, which is honestly the movie too. The movie's just right. It's just there. Like not too many people seem to talk about this movie as much. Like I didn't know about this movie at all until my friend recommend like we watched it, and it was a very good movie. And obviously on rewatches now, I pick up on more detail. I pick up on the truer meaning of the movie of just simplicity. That's the thing. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just so simple, yet it's not. Which is like I've never seen anything like it before. Clerks, nothing happens, but you sort of get this like fun time. But obviously, it's just supposed to be a fun hangout with friends. But unlike this movie where you just follow somebody's life in a different way that I've never really seen before. And I'm sure there's other movies like it, but to me, this really is its own little side thing. Like I can't compare this movie to any other movies because it's its own big thing. It's like it's a big story, yet it's not, which I know I've said already, so I'm rambling. But this like like the characters are fun. They are very interesting. They have their own problems, and that's life. I mean, you always are gonna have your problems, but it's just the people that you surround yourself with that are gonna help you through it. And by letting them in, you help yourself too in a way. Obviously you're helping yourself not be alone, which obviously I know Finn wants to be alone all the time, but he deep down I know he wants those friendships, and they love him too. So because that's the thing, he doesn't like drawing attention, but obviously by default he will draw attention, and people always seem to talk to him, and it's not hard for him to make friends if he wanted to. He just doesn't want to. And I'm sure his experience in the past have made him who he is. I'm sure growing up he didn't have any friends or anything like that, and only liked his interest in trains. And obviously, when Finn is working on trains, it's at his happiest. That's his joy, and obviously, I'm sure everyone can relate to things that just bring you joy in life. Like obviously, when I watch a movie, I love it, and it's just the perfect thing for me to watch movies. Or I'm sure if someone likes trains and it's working on trains or being a part of them is what makes you happy. And I'm sure Finn finds that comfort in that. And obviously, it's supposed to be this thing where like this big giant object that moves, and obviously he's not such a that's a rude way to put it. I mean, he's a little, so obviously he finds the like he loves like I'm sure he feels big when he like is on a train, and it's very beautiful because that's when people find their love passion, and when you find your passion you truly will never be sad. And but but obviously with everything that you do in life, you have to have people alongside you who help you out and are there for you when you need them the most. And like Olivia, she's a very at first you're just like, oh, you think she's a typical artsy, funny love interest, which yes, throughout the movie you seem to get that like idea that she is the love interest, but she has her own upsetting problems. She lost her son 2 years back in the movie, and obviously it's not easy for her, and her husband has obviously been very very not so nice to her, I mean, back. So it leads to them having fights all the time and him not being in the picture. I think they're divorced. I'm pretty sure they mentioned they're divorced. I forget. But it obviously all comes down to him having a baby with another woman. And this just spirals her into a deep depression where she like leaves and no one hears from her for a while. And it's very sad because throughout the movie you think she's like, oh, this mysterious lady who is artsy and she's just your typical love interest, and it's not. It really does a flip on you for that part, and it's very interesting and sad. And obviously by the end she does come back to to the little friend group they have going on. And obviously her and Finn don't end up together, which is the first time I thought they were. I think they really do set up that Finn is gonna end up with Emily, the librarian who is pregnant, obviously with her not so good boyfriend, and I think that's where they're leading that off to. I think I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure yet, which is not weird, but like because I think she's not a teenager. No, no, she has to be like in her 20s. I think like in her mid late 20s. I think that character. But no, it's not weird. It's I'm just saying, but like they leave it open. They don't really tell you, which is nice too. They don't really cap it off with a happy everything concludes happy ending. It just seems like a mellow ending. But I'll get to the ending later. But yeah, to bring it back to Olivia, she's a complicated character who you form also a bond with. She's interested in Finn. Obviously, she feels bad for almost running him over, and but when Finn opens up to her and she opens up to him, it's when they truly are like they're rekindling something, some past trauma, which obviously at the time they don't know yet, but eventually they help each other. And obviously with Joe, he's also hilarious. I know he has his own problems too, and he's funny, but also deep down he's a real person who really wants to be friends with Finn, which at first you're just like, why doesn't, because Joe isn't. You see Joe interact with other people, like you see him interact with Emily's boyfriend, who seems to not like be rude to him. Like it seems that Joe has friends, like he knows people. He's on the phone before he meets Finn. He has people to talk to, but I feel like he doesn't have people to talk to at the same time, if that makes sense. He finds something in Finn who he like gets this attraction of friendship to, like who he really wants to get to know him. Like really, he spends his off time going with Finn to see trains and all that, which I know that sounds not fun. He's not fun. It's not fun to him at all. But he really tries his best to befriend Finn and try to get Finn to trust him, and it works slowly but surely. It works. And so, but what I'm trying to say is that Finn, I mean Joe could have easily just made fun of Finn and brushed him off and just been like, oh look that dwarf, get like to the person he's talking to, and just been like, oh look at that dwarf, leave it be. But he tries his best because I don't think Joe has friends like that. Like he because we have friends that we can talk to, we just joke around with. We have friends who like for certain things, but sometimes we need those friends that we can just have that that like love to, like that soft love we can confide in and do all those talk about anything with. And I think that's what Joe wants to have with Finn, and he knows Libby before, but like this with the three of them hanging out more is makes their bond even stronger. And throughout the movie, you also get this little girl named Cleo. I think I'm pretty sure it's Cleo, and she also likes trains like Finn. And I think she hangs or she. I guess she. I guess the idea is that she hangs around those abandoned trains like throughout those like years she's been there. And when she sees Finn there, I guess she's drawn to him not just because it's dwarfism, but just because he also likes trains and he wants her to he wants she I mean she wants him to go and talk about trains at his class, which it all leads up to like this final one of the like the last scenes that he actually goes to talk to trains about to the kids about trains. And okay, at first you think it's like one of my favorite things about movies, some movies where like they really like they kind of like oh, what's that word? I can't think right now. I'm losing my train of thought. They like they build up the scene to you thinking this idea, and then it just does something else. So like throughout the movie you think, okay, this is typical, because it's not your typical movie. So like you think after he makes up with Olivia and everything's good, he shows up to the class, and at first you're just like, okay, this is a scene where he's gonna have a big speech and just be like, oh hey, okay kids, trains and stuff like that, and they're all gonna be accepting of him, and it's gonna be like this big like applaud moment, like a sports movie, like when you have like those the underdog just like come out like a Rocky type thing. But nope, this movie does a completely different thing, and the kids do not care. They do not care about trains. They make fun of his height. They're just like, "Oh, how tall are you?" And he's like, "I'm this type of tall." And then he's like, And the kid's like, "I'm taller than you." And then the kid gets taken out of the class, and it just kind of goes to dead silence. And then the kids want to talk about like helium balloons and like blimps and stuff like that. So that buildup, you thinking this completely escalates to something else, which leaves Finn like kind of awkward. And but like that's the thing. That's with life, Sometimes things aren't gonna go the way you plan them to be, no matter if you think you deserve them or not. They're not gonna go the way you want them to, and it just all comes down to like this final scene of just the three talking, and it just stuck with me. It's like one of the most beautiful endings I've seen in a movie, where you just have the three characters talking, joking about Finn seeing Emily again, the librarian, and just I'm pretty sure Joe's smoking a cigarette, and the other two have beers in their hand, and it's just this one shot. You don't even move the camera. You just have this one steady shot on the three of them. They're on the porch. It's nighttime and everything, and it just ends. And it's just so I'm just like, wow, what a movie, that like what a way to end the movie, that just was building up to this, and it just does something else, and it just cuts to this scene of them just together, because that's the thing, there's no real like arc. I mean, yes, there's an arc in their friendship, but what what I mean, like, there's no life changing thing. Like, they're not the three of them aren't leaving town to go to New York and follow their dreams. Joe's not gonna be in Broadway singing a song while Olivia is in the museum showing her artwork, and and Finn working the train station at Penn Station or Grand Central Station. That's not the thing. That's not the goal of the movie to do. That's not. They're not trying to get those characters out of the town. Finn moved to this town to find something in himself, and he found these two friends, and he found this other love interest, librarian, and that's that's the point of the movie. You're not supposed to have this life changing event. Sometimes maybe the thing you want in life is the simple things, and that's the simple thing I know Finn wanted. Finn just wanted some friends. Joe just wanted a friend. Olivia just wanted some closure and a friend, and she's got it. She's gonna be okay. Joe's gonna be okay. Finn's gonna be okay, and they leave so much open, but yet they close it off such a beautiful way, and it's amazing. And it's honestly, it is one of my favorite endings of all time, because it's just that feeling of just comfort. You because we try so hard for comfort, that when we finally have it we don't even know it, but when we do know it's comfort, you're just like, thank you. It's a time to breathe. Tomorrow's another day, and it's gonna be okay. And that's the genius of the movie. It's simplicity. I know I'm talking back about the simplicity, but like not in a bad way. It's just I'm so like it's genuinely so interesting how this movie captured simplicity, but like in such a raw, great way, and that makes life seem bigger at times, and it's so beautiful. And even throughout the score, it's a beautiful. The theme of the songs are beautiful, and it's just all. It's not some groundbreaking movie. Obviously, it's not supposed to be like a 15 Oscar worthy movie. Even though it did have a lot of praise, it has a 94% Rotten Tomatoes actually, which is not bad at all, and it premiered at Sundance and the Toronto Film Festival, and then it was released on a small little, it was theatrical run. Like, this is a very independent movie. It was made for only $500,000, but it didn't make $8 million, so it made its budget back. But to be honest with you, $8 million doesn't seem like a lot, but it was only like released like in 100 theaters, which is nothing compared to like other movies like that get like released in like 500 theaters. And this is 2003, so it's not obviously different times. Like this movie would not be made today. Like that's the sad part. Like this movie would not be made today. Like truly independent movies like these do not get made. Yes, you have your $1 million movies like what's that? Obsession. You have movies like Obsession coming up, but yes, but those are more horror movies, and obviously you get more. There's more chance in having a life in horror movies, such as I'm not saying it's easy, but what I'm trying to say is that movies like these with simple little like lives shot like this on 16 millimeter or do not get made today, which they should get made because these movies are beautiful and these are the movies that are going to be remembered in the future. Well, obviously this one isn't really remembered, but that's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm so glad that my friend requested this movie because this movie does deserve praise. And obviously, I'm not saying like a million people are gonna hear this, but I'm just saying a little. It's a movie that whoever does hear this can have a new movie to think about and watch and appreciate this movie because it's a very beautiful movie. And yeah, I think that's gonna be a wrap for today's episode. I'm sorry for the short episode, but I'm not feeling the best today. I don't know if you heard my voice throughout this episode. It does not feel good at all. My throat is like sore. It was a hard heat wave this week, and just it wasn't. It just had an effect on my throat, so I couldn't really talk that good. So if throughout this episode it sounded a little weird and off, and a couple little something off, it's because of that. Blame the sickness and blame the heat wave going on, but blame the smoke. We've been getting those wildfire smokes throughout New Jersey here at this week, and it was not fun at all to be breathing. Like when you go outside, you can actually breathe it. So it was not fun. But I'm not blaming Canada. I love Canada. I love Canadians and everything. I love Degrassi. Degrassi, which honestly amazing show, which I also recommend. Apart from this, obviously, but I also recommend Degrassi, The Next Generation, or Junior High, whichever one you want. Just not that Netflix one. I'm not a big fan of the Netflix one. But yeah, that concludes our episode on the station agent. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I'm so glad. Hopefully, Liam, if you're listening, I hope I did this movie justice. And if you have another movie recommendation, feel free to tell me and anyone too listening. Follow me on Instagram. To drop a comment on YouTube if you're listening to on YouTube of any movie you want me to cover, and I will put it on the list so we can cover it in the future. But yeah, and I hope to see you next week. Next week is another recommendation we're gonna have from one of my other good friends, but that's gonna be a surprise for next week. But for now, I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this, wherever you're gonna be listening to this episode. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and goodbye.
I was looking through a window at my life today, and for the first time I saw things in a different way. In the middle of my mind, it was there all the time. Never explain love. It's not like anything you've ever done. If it is there, it's yours to keep, and the boundaries that go deep. Never explain love, let the experience take over you. And when you do, never explain love. I was looking for a reason, I'm searching for a sign to try and understand this relationship of mine. But I didn't need to go far. I was reading it all wrong. Never explain love. It's not like anything you've ever done. If it is there, it's yours to keep, and the boundaries they go deep. Never explain love, let the experience take over you. When you do, never explain love. Before I knew, I almost blew it all. Who needs to be rational when love isn't practical? All I know is what's inside. So when it's alright. Never explain love. It's not like anything you've ever done. If it is there, it's yours to keep, and the boundaries they go deep. Never explain love.